Hey guys, and welcome back to part 3 of my top 10 figures of 2021. And this top 10 is my top 10 favorite pickups. These are the figures that were not released in 2021 that I have gotten in 2021, and I'm very happy that I got them. There are a couple weird ones, like it was sort of released this year, but it was like a different version or a reissue or whatever, but I don't really count it because it's not really, new. So I still included those in the pickups and not in like the top 10 list. And you'll see those exceptions here soon. But yes, number 10 is the Flame Toys G1 Optimus Prime. Because all of this also includes Transformers and model kits and blah blah blah. This is just my top 10 pickups in general. This list also does not include 1/6 scale. That got its own list in part 1. So check that out. And if you want to see the top 10 of 2021 that came out in the year, that will be the last part 4. So, Flame Toys Optimus Prime. This is a model kit, and it's actually really good. I really do love this thing. It's actually really fun and great, and I'm really happy I was able to finally get this thing. It's great. My brother's nephew, Gabe, if you're watching this, hey, he actually got this for Christmas, and it's actually one of his first model kits he ever built. So it shows that, like, anyone can enjoy this. It's really fun and easy to build. It's really posable. And sure, it doesn't transform, but man, something about Flame Toys kits, like in your hands after you get them built, they feel so nice. And I just love the sleekness of it. I love the look. The Autobot logos look great. Man, it is definitely one to behold. And it's just number 10. So definitely have some pretty cool stuff on this list. Some things I was really happy I was able to get. One of them being this. I actually just got this a couple weeks ago. This is an original vintage 1986 G.I. Joe Beachhead. I have wanted this for so long. I'm very happy that I got this year. I got a lot of cool G.I. Joes that I've wanted for a long time this year. And I figured I would just show one. And I think it's 86 Beachhead. I got some 12-inchers that I was really happy to get. I got some like Valor versus Venom era that were really cool. But I think out of all of them, I like keeping this list diverse. I didn't want to have any other G.I. Joes. I think this is the one that was like the one I was most happy to get this year. Because, man, it's vintage Beachhead. Look at it. Perfect condition. Mint condition. Complete. I love it. It's freaking Beachhead, man. Come on. I need to get him a stand, though, because he doesn't like standing too well on his own. Next up, this one, you may think, oh, but you don't show things you get in the P.O. box. Well, this is an exception, because the Clone Wars MagnaGuard is a holy grail of mine, and also I paid for this. I bought this. It's not like a gift that was sent to me by a fan. I paid for this. I purchased it from someone and they sent it to my P.O. box, so I still put it in the P.O. box unboxings, but this is not something that was a gift from a fan. I don't like including those in these lists, just because it's kind of unfair to like pick and choose. But man, let me tell you, finally finding this for a good deal was something else. Finally having the Clone Wars MagnaGuard. It's nice to fill some Holy Grail holes in your collection, And I show in a top 10 pickup video always kind of emphasizes, like, yeah, I was finally able to get this one and that one, and man, it feels good. Definitely feels good sometimes, and this is definitely one of those instances where it feels really good to get him. I might do a video on him. I might do a Droid District. Let me know if you want to see that. Next up, this is a weird one, but one I really love. Kind of a pain to get it off the shelf for this, but Big Convoy. I actually did a review on this guy, a video review, and man, I love it. It's a shell former, it's a panel former. You could separate the mammoth and the robot, and they could be two different toys, two different entities entirely. But I don't care, man. It's Big Convoy. His name, number one, is Big Convoy. It's amazing. I mean, what would he be called if it was like an Optimus Prime kind of name? Like Mammoth Prime? Ultra Mammoth? I mean, that was kind of like the Ultra Magnus repaint. Optimammoth? Optimammoth Prime? They could have been that. Oh my gosh, Optimammoth. Look at it, man. I love it. It's great. Really cool figure. Really fun figure, too. Definitely worthy of being on the pickups list. That's actually the reissue from Takara that came out a couple years ago. Next up, I've been wanting these for a long time. Finally got myself an articulated Icons Ninja. And man, let me just dial the clock back to when I was a kid. One of my first trips to the dentist. I was such a well-behaved boy. I got little colorful figurines of ninjas. The kind of things you can get from like a weird, like, I guess, quarter machine at like the grocery store or something. The dentist had them, gave them to me because I was so well-behaved. And ever since then, I've just kind of had a thing for ninjas. And having a very nice, like, articulated figure of a dark blue ninja is the exact kind of thing that my soul needed. And I'm very happy that I was able to finally fill that gap in my soul with that right there. Why are we just focusing on Optimus Prime? I really don't understand that. Is it like manual focus? What's going on? Why are we just focusing on Optimus? There we go. Oh my goodness. I think it actually detected Optimus Prime's chest as a face on my camera. Oh my gosh. It's been a day. Anyways, next up, I got a lot of cool gunpla this year. P Bandai especially reissued a lot of nice gunpla on their USP Bandai site. And the one I was most happy to grab was the Hyakushiki, the gold coating version. This guy, unfortunately, you'll see a lot of fingerprints on him because this guy's a fingerprint magnet. But, oh man, look at all those fingerprints. I'm going to have to, like, wipe them off before I put them on the shelf because I've just been too, like, handsy with it, just posing it around and having fun. But yeah, man, the Hyakushiki. Love this suit. Actually got another very similar kit this year. I was very happy to grab the Delta Gundam. Got one of those pre-built at the toy department. Super cheap. Like $12. And man, what can I say? You know, metallic gold mobile suits. They definitely do something, man. They do something to you. Just looking at him amongst all these. Ah, yes. It's great. It's awesome. Top 3 time. So, you may have noticed this year, I've done a lot of reviews on JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Actually, this isn't top 3. This is actually number 4. I forgot the number 1 is so big he's off to the side. But number 4 gave it to my favorite JoJo figure, and that is Part 2 Joseph Joestar. So, technically, this was released this year. It is a 2021 release, like a lot of my JoJo figures are. But it's an old figure. The figure itself is like a decade old. It's just a reissue of it. So I'll consider it a pickup. And man, look at it. Such a fun figure. The JoJo figures always... some of them were a little fragile, and I was kind of scared to pose them and mess with them. But I was so surprised getting these Super Action Statue JoJo figures, especially Joseph here. How durable and how fun and posable it is. This figure is amazing. If you're a fan of JoJo, and if you're a Part 2 fanboy like me, if Joseph's your man, I'd say pick this up. Can't speak on every Super Action Statue JoJo figure because I know they kind of differ in scale and in quality. But this one, definitely recommend. Definitely. I might have to pick up Lisa when that one comes out. Has it already come out? I actually don't know. Because I got him, and I have Caesar, but I might pick up Lisa. Would I pick up the Pillar Man? Man, if these things weren't like $70 a pop, I would. If these things were just like $30-$40 a pop, I would have so much JoJo. But with how expensive they are, I have to really be picky, and I knew I had to get that one. Next up, this is actually kind of funny that this actually surpassed JoJo. But man, it was just such a treat this year to finally get a couple Glios figures. It was such a treat. And let me tell you, man, this was fun. This is really fun. Will I get more? I don't know. Probably not. But man, finally getting a couple Glios figures in my collection, really, it was so fun. Such a fun highlight figure-wise of the year for me. Because man, ooh, such a fun year for figures. Not for everything else, but for figures, it was a pretty fun year. And yeah, man, good old Glios. Definitely check out Glios. Any Glios company, it's not just Onell Design that makes them, because Glios is just an awesome thing in general. Anyways, number two, had to put Silver Centurion from Comic Cave on this list. Because, yeah, I mean, sure, it's high-end, probably the most expensive thing on this list when it comes to, like, its value. I think it's cost me about $100. And I think the next most expensive is actually the next one. It cost me about $70. But this one, ooh, yeah. Let me just zoom in real quick. I think I've already done a review on this. It's the freaking Silver Centurion. You know, I don't think I'll ever get the Hot Toys of this because it's not really a main suit and I just want one Iron Man. So having the Silver Centurion, which is basically a mini Hot Toys, like having the Comic one really, really hits the spot. All the little panels and things. Oh, yes. So much yes. So much yes with these Comic figures. Will I get more? Maybe someday, but oh man, definitely if that's the last one I'll ever get, that's a good one to go out on. Anyways, number one. What's number one? So, number one, kind of an odd pick. Let me just raise the camera real quick because he's kind of big. Number one, a big reason why this is number one is because when I got this thing, it made me feel like a kid again. It did. It genuinely made me feel like a kid again. And I think that's one of the most important things about toy collecting is just going back and just feeling great about things. RID Optimus Prime had an effect on me this year. Getting this guy, I was wooed. I was hypnotized by this majesty of early 2000s Japanese robot engineering. He is so bulky and chunky and awesome. Yes, basically he's a brick. Sure, he has articulation. Like, he does have articulation. But, I mean, he's basically just a brick. Even though he has all this posability, you're not really going to do much with it. But man, the small mode, the super mode, I actually want to get another one of this without all of these add-ons, just like the base robot, just to have him on display. Because I love this toy so much, I want it displayed in both of its robot modes. It had such an effect on me when I got it. Finally, the toy department had it on sale, or they actually got it, and it's not like they had it on sale. They got it, and they had it for around $75 in the package. And I was thinking, man, this is like a holy grail for me, having RID Optimus Prime. So I seriously called them up, and I'm like, do you guys have this? Can you put it on hold? Thank you so much. I'll be right there. And, ooh, man, getting it complete and getting it for that price, I'm very happy with this. Will I get Ultra Magnus eventually? Man, I think I will. At some point, I'll get Ultra Magnus because I know the combined mode with him and Ultra Magnus is pretty great. I'll get it eventually. Someday I'll get Ultra Magnus from RID to go with this guy. But for now, man, I'm very happy with just Optimus. Can we get some noises going? Where's his buttons? I'm forgetting where his button is. Isn't it like on the side of him? Or am I just tripping? Where's his button? I'm tripping out. Where's his button? I'm losing it. Is it on his back? I think so. Yeah, there we go. It's on his back. It's been a minute.
Optimus Prime, MagnaGuard.
Oh my gosh.
Fire! Autobots, transform!
The talking, the metallic, the chromed out pieces, the chunkiness, it really just... These are the kind of robot toys we had growing up in the early 2000s. And sure, the robot toys coming out nowadays are great, but they ain't this. They ain't this, man. So, with that being said, there we go. There's my top 10 pickups of 2021. Robots, model kits, action figures. These are the top 10. These are the ones that I got and it just filled a hole in my life, or it was just really cool. And they weren't 1/6 scale. Because counting 1/6 scale, man, this list would have had Hot Toys Vader. It would have had Sideshow Dusty and Crimson Cobra Commander. It would have been mostly 1/6 scale. So I decided to give them their own list and to give the other things that I got this year some love. Because, oh man, been quite the year. Alrighty, guys, thank you so much for watching. Special shout out to the patrons at Patreon. If you guys are watching, thank you all so much for the continued support. Man, I'm happy this year is over, and I'm hoping that the 2022 will be a little bit better. But we still have one more part. We'll see if 2022 is not only better in the world, but also might actually outdo this year with figures. We'll just have to see. But yeah, one more part in my top 10 of 2021. And then we can lay 2021 to rest.